Everybody wins. Shop local.
When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Aultman, we are ready. We've got you.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, and that means it's time for Spotlight. And of course, as I mentioned, most Wednesdays you can not only hear us on the radio, but you can watch this live on Facebook if you like our Facebook page at 1480 WHBC, and also on our YouTube channel. Just search YouTube for News Talk 1480 WHBC and you'll find us. And you can watch the video there as well. We do it on all different platforms, so you have a chance to catch up with us. And today on Spotlight, we are highlighting the great care that Aultman Hospital gives to cancer patients. We did this last week as well, but the stories are always so impactful, and we feel like it's just really important to continue to share those. And today we're going to talk to Barb Bennett. She's with us this morning and ready to tell her story. I know you're very excited, Barb, right?
I am very excited. I really appreciate being here. Thank you, Pam, and to WHBC and Aultman Health Foundation.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm glad that you could come on with us. So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and how, what you are in the community and where you're from and all that kind of stuff, so they can kind of get an idea of who you are.
Sure. Thank you very much. I was born and raised here in Stark County, so I'm homegrown. I'm the youngest of 4 children. I went to Canton Central Catholic High School. And from there, I went to the University of Notre Dame and received my degree in civil engineering. And from there, I worked in Illinois for a couple of years and came back here to Stark County to work for my family business in civil engineering and consulting at Hammond Tree and Associates. And that's where I met my husband. And he was actually my supervisor. So we decided we didn't like each other for about 5 years, and we either had to kill each other or get married. So we got married. And so my husband and I have 2 children. They're both graduated from high school and launched into their college careers. And I've been very engaged in the community. I've volunteered in different organizations. So I've been around the block quite a bit here in Stark County. So love this community. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, you're a familiar face. You're definitely a familiar face, that's for sure. So the cancer diagnosis. Let's kind of start at the beginning. Maybe how it all came about.
Yeah. I was 32 years old. My husband and I had been married for about 6 years. And it's kind of strange. I mean, we were trying to have kids. It just wasn't working out in the plans. And I found a lump in my throat at my collarbone. And, I didn't really have any other symptoms. And I went to my doctor and he tapped it and he said, and I'm not kidding. I still have my doctor, but he said, "Ooh, I don't like this." He says, "It's either some kind of lymphoma that we can treat, or it's pancreatic cancer, which is terminal." And at that point, I think my husband passed out and I just kind of stared in shock. And, at that point I thought, oh my God, my life is over, and just cried and, was upset for a couple of weeks. And I don't know, a switch turned. And from that point forward, I said, all right, let's take care of this. Let's move forward. The pity party's done and we need to move forward. But the one thing my doctor did tell me is that we have as good, if not the best, cancer care here in Canton, Ohio, than what you'll find in the world. So that was a little calming. So that made me feel better. So that was my first diagnosis. And have another diagnosis, which happened 20 years later. And that was a small lump I found on my breast. It was actually 3 months after a mammogram. And I had some testing done and the biopsy, and poor surgeon came and gave me the results from the biopsy. And my husband was with me again, and the surgeon told me that it was found to be cancerous. And I was mad. I was a little ticked off. I think I had a few choice swear words for the poor surgeon. And again, I thought, well, let's just move forward and figure out what we have to do next. And then, you know, I tell these stories and I think to myself, this is unbelievable, but I'm not making this stuff up. So my third diagnosis was in 2019, and I was having problems swallowing. And I asked my oncologist, I said, wait, can we just kind of check this out? I'm just kind of worried that we have some tumors or something growing in there. And she's, you know, so we're not going to think like that, but we'll go ahead and check it out. So did a lot of testing, imaging, you know, all right here in Canton, and had an endoscopy, and those results came back that I had esophageal cancer. And that, I'll tell you a story about that. I was with a small group with Aultman, people who were in fundraising, people who were in administration, doctors, nurses, people from the board. And we were looking at different options for the Timken Family Cancer Center. And I got the call from my GI doctor who came back with the results. I was with this group looking at options for the Timken Family Cancer. They said, you have esophageal cancer. So I was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame with this small group. I had to step into a closet. And my reaction to that was like, what the heck are you, you know? So I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. So again, my attitude was like, all right, what do we have to do to take care of this? And let's just keep moving forward. And that's where I am today. So
yeah, I mean, that's absolutely unbelievable. And I mean, obviously you have the right attitude, no doubt about it. But did anybody else in your family have cancer? I mean, was this something that, you know, was, you know, other family members or anything like that?
Yeah, we, only thing I can think of is my grandfather, my mother's father, had cancer back in, I want to say 1987. And that's the only occurrence of cancer in our family that I can think of. And we did genetic testing on myself to make sure I wasn't passing down genes to my daughter, or, you know, anything that my nieces had to worry about. And there were no genetic anomalies. And I do believe stress does play a big part in your health and your body breaking down. And, you know, I had some stresses in my life. I had kind of a high and intense job working with a lot of private developers, and just the way that I'm wired. And, you know, when I got that first diagnosis, it just made me kind of reprioritize everything in an instant, in a flash. You know, there's no one who's on their deathbed saying, gosh, I wish I would have been at work more often, you know. Yeah. So so it was a sign, you know. I believe that there's a reason for everything. Everything's connected. So there is a reason. There is a reason why. Just to step back and just enjoy life. You know, you only have one life. Better make it a good ride the first time around, right?
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break here. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about your treatment, because 3 times, and obviously 3 treatment plans. So again, Spotlight today, we're talking to Barb Bennett, and we want you to stay tuned. We'll get into her treatment, her support system, and how Aultman and the treatment at Aultman was so helpful to her. And we'll do that right here on 1480 WHBC.
You can order great Canton stuff with our WHBC logo.
I get it, and I love it.
And let everyone know where your heart is.
Oh,
No, I'm going to do it. It's all at WHBC.com.
It's real.
Fan gear.
No way. That's amazing.
Get it now.
Right now.
And let everyone know where your heart is.
If you really love someone, it's simple.
Be a part of the team, the WHBC team.
I'm famous.
Go to WHBC.com to find fan gear.
This summer, hit the road in the vehicle you deserve and secure a rate of 2.49% APR. You can make it happen at Friends and Family Credit Union. A new vehicle loan for 2.49% APR up to 76 months and no payment for 90 days. Stop in and talk to our local friendly loan professionals. They'll put you on the road in the vehicle you want with a rate as low as 2.49% APR. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. Friends and Family Credit Union has 3 convenient locations to serve you, including our newest location inside the Acme Fresh Market on Whipple Avenue in Canton, online, and in the palm of your hand with mobile banking. Additional restrictions may apply. All rates and promotions are subject to change without notice. This institution is privately insured by ASI up to $250,000 per account. Secure your new vehicle loan as low as 2.49% APR up to 76 months at Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
There's no point in crying over spilled milk or even spaghetti sauce for that matter, especially when you can take advantage of the Don't Stress the Mess flooring sale right now at Hosner Carpet One. Save up to 50% and get 18 months free financing on your purchase. From carpet to hardwood, luxury vinyl and tile, talk to an expert today to find beautiful flooring that stands up to the toughest messes. Hosner Carpet One, 4925 West Tusk, Canton, across from Central Catholic High School. See store for details.
Omni Express Walk-In Clinic is here for you day and night, and even on Saturday with new extended hours. Turn your orthopedic ouch into an ah. The Walk-In Clinic is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday. No appointment needed. Come to Omni Express first for fast expert care. Located at Omni Orthopedics, 4760 Belpar Street in Belton Village. Visit omniortho.com or call 330-492-9200.
Nothing sounds quite like a dad's day at Lowe's. Like the DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill and driver kit for $99. And the Craftsman 3000 PSI gas pressure washer, now $289. Give him the day he really wants. This Father's Day, let Dad loose at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, DeWalt drill kit offer valid 6/10 through 8/4. Craftsman gas pressure washer offer valid 6/10 through 6/23. U.S. only.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority you.
Weatherproof your next adventure with our newly redesigned AccuWeather mobile app. Now featuring the expanded 4-hour minute cast so you can plan with confidence. Navigate through the app for your daily, hourly, and minute-by-minute forecasts, all while maintaining the same level of accuracy and trusted features you've always relied on from AccuWeather. Download the new AccuWeather app today, available now in the App Store on iOS and in the Google Play Store.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And again, welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. And we've been highlighting Aultman Hospital and their treatment of cancer patients. And we did this last week, and we've been sharing the stories of cancer patients from Aultman. And today we have with us Barb Bennett. And Barb was just sharing with us 3 not one, not two, but 3 diagnoses. And my gosh, Barb, honestly, I don't, some people have a hard enough time dealing with one. I can't even imagine, what that was like. You certainly, took the kick and stood back up.
I sure did. I always figure, no matter how bad things are for me, there's always somebody who's worse off. I have a friend who's had 5 different cancer diagnoses, and she is just a superstar. So no matter how bad it is, it seems for me, there's always somebody who's worse off. So,
wow. So let's talk a little bit about your treatment, because to go through a treatment plan each and every time, that had to be really, really tough.
Yeah. It was the first time I had cancer with the lymphoma. I agreed to go through a clinical trial, and the course of treatment at the time, they were trying to figure out what was the standard of care. So I went through chemotherapy, which wasn't so bad. They have a lot of good drugs to help, make sure that you don't get nauseous or, have bad side effects. So the chemo wasn't so bad. And I can still remember the type of chemo. It was vinblastine and doxorubicin, which they call the red devil. But in any event, and then after that, I had radiation. There was 4 weeks on my chest area and then 4 weeks on my abdomen area. And that was a little bit harder than the chemotherapy. The radiation just really tired me out. I would get dressed every day, put my suit on, put my makeup on. I was the first radiation appointment in the morning. So I'd go in, get my radiation, and I'd start driving to work and think, oh my God, I'm so tired. I just need to crawl into bed and go to sleep. So I'd do that and go to work in the afternoon. So that treatment plan ended up being the standard of care for lymphoma then, and that was 24 years ago. So moving forward to breast cancer then, I had a very aggressive breast cancer. So I had a 7 times more likely chance that it would come back if it wasn't removed. So I had to go through a bilateral mastectomy, which is a double mastectomy, and I did reconstructed surgery. I also had chemo with that and lost all my hair. I was a 50-some-year-old woman. This was in 2017. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to hide it. I wore scarves. I wore wigs. So after a while, I just went bald, and which was a little disconcerting to some people. But I was like, it is what it is, right? We're not going to worry about it so much. And then my third cancer, the esophageal cancer, I was a very special case then because I've had a lot of drugs put in me, different chemos. So I was part of a tumor board discussion and figuring out what type of treatment. And there was some consultation with Cleveland Clinic too, and they agreed that certain type of chemo and surgery would be the best way to go. And I was able to get most of my treatments down here in Canton at Aultman Hospital, all my imaging and everything, but it's very specialized surgery. So I had to go up to Cleveland Clinic for that. And looking back, it was a pretty tough surgery. But again, I was, just keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Now, what kind of support system did you have throughout this? I'm sure family and friends were there for you.
First and foremost was my husband, who was an absolute Superman rock star, keeping me pasted together, keeping our family moving forward. My kids, I feel so bad for them. Most of their high school career was me being sick, and just the worry on them and the strain and, making sure that they're taken care of. So my husband, first and foremost, was the rock star. But I tell you what, people are kind and generous and caring and compassionate when you give them that opportunity. So when my friends found out I was sick, they would make dinners or send me gift cards and offer masses and light candles and put me on prayer chains. And so I think that was some of the greatest support system that I could have had. And of course, my family, my parents, they wanted to help so bad. And a lot of times I felt like I really didn't need help, but they needed to help me. People needed to help me. So that was my gift to them. I really didn't need someone to drive me to the hospital, but I let them drive me to the hospital. And so it was kind of a good way to give back and to receive, right?
Yeah, and I would imagine that you had similar feelings to maybe somebody in the healthcare staff too.
Yeah, there were some great, great people. My first oncologist was Dr. Manusak. I was with him for 20 years, and as soon as he retired, that's when I found out I had breast cancer. And then I was Dr. Shruti Trehan's patient, and you have to be a very special people to be in oncology, just your attitude and your caring and compassion. And I had my first infusion nurses were Tracy and Kim, and Tracy's now the manager of the oncology office at Aultman. And there's, Sally, who is one of my infusion nurses, and Brendan, who takes your vitals and the intake and just is always so cheerful, and Amy, who makes your appointments. So everyone who works in that office is so uplifting and positive. And like I said, you have to be a very special person to work in oncology, because there are patients who don't make it, and there are patients who are success stories. So God bless them all. I just adore and appreciate every single one of them.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. They are special people, because it has to be very, very tough to, just to, get close to people and be able to do that on a daily basis. So kudos to them for sure. We're going to take a break for the news, and we will be back with Barb Bennett. We'll talk more about Aultman Hospital, their cancer patient treatments, and what a great job they do. That's all coming up on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
What better way to support our local economy than to eat local? Stark County has a great variety of dining options, like Bender's Tavern. Since 1902, this historic landmark continues to serve up the finest steaks, seafood, and locally sourced produce. Canton's oldest and finest, Bender's Tavern. Napoli's, the original, has moved, but the award-winning New York-style pizza, strombolis, and Italian entrees remain the same. Napoli's, the original, now at 1076 OJ's Parkway.
When you shop local, everybody wins. Shop local.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-770-2727. 800-770-2727. 800-770-2727.
At Packley, they pride themselves on serving families in Massillon and the surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The families they serve are their top priority and have set measures in place to help protect and accommodate the elderly, sick, and members of the public, and will make every effort to accommodate families in making arrangements, conducting services in any capacity needed to ensure their safety and comfort while honoring their loved one. Packley, serving the community with grace and compassion.
Ad paid for by MPM, non-attorney spokesperson. Attention, this is an important message for anyone diagnosed with Parkinson's disease after being exposed to paraquat or other similar herbicides. Paraquat is a chemical commonly used by farmers and those that work with or apply herbicides. Residences near agricultural sites are also at risk for exposure. Scientific research showed that exposure to paraquat close to a residence increased Parkinson's disease risk by 75%. Numerous additional studies confirmed the link between paraquat and increased risk for Parkinson's. In fact, paraquat has been banned or limited for use in many other countries around the world. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with Parkinson's after being exposed to paraquat or other herbicides and suffered side effects, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call us today at 800-217-0545. Our experienced attorneys are ready to fight for you, and you'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-217-0545. Again, that's 800-217-0545.
We all want the same things: to find love, to watch our kids grow up, to stay healthy. That includes us at Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital. That's why we're open, taking appointments, and keeping you safe. So whether it's an annual exam or a new concern, we're here for you, for everything you need, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital. Don't delay. Visit cantonmercy.org.
If you're thinking of buying a water softener, make Verndale's Water Center your first stop, and a free reverse osmosis drinking water system is included. Take advantage of 0% financing for 1 year. For clean, clear, great tasting water, call Verndale's Water Center today.
Verndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Kent, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
WHBC News now, 65 degrees. They're sitting side by side, President Biden and Russian President Putin, initially with a photo op. Very little small talk during that session. Now sitting down and talking seriously.
President Biden has called President Putin a worthy adversary. The two men are expected to cover a number of topics, but particularly cybersecurity, election and rights abuses. Lawmakers back home bipartisanly want President Biden to push back on recent ransomware and cyber hacks allegedly by Russian-based groups.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard, the two to hold separate press conferences afterward, the president to then leave immediately and fly back to the U.S. A 19-year-old Mansfield man jailed on $1 million bond, accused of stabbing an elderly woman over 30 times in her home earlier this month. Isaac Lawhorn arraigned on felonious assault charges, the victim recovering. The kids may call it summer vacation. For teen drivers, AAA refers to this time of the year between Memorial Day and Labor Day as the 100 deadliest days. It's because an average 23 teens are killed on Ohio's roadways during that period each year, and that represents an increase from other times of the year. AAA's Kimberly Schwind says those newbies on the highway may have even less experience due to the pandemic.
There wasn't really as much opportunities for new teen drivers to practice driving during the pandemic, and now everything's opening up, and we have a lot of these inexperienced teen drivers hitting the road.
She says driving tests became easier to pass during the darker days of COVID. And the Columbus-based owner of a number of shopping centers in the state, including New Philadelphia's Newtown Mall, filing for bankruptcy protection. Washington Prime Group filing to restructure its debt, saying it already has agreements with creditors to reduce some of its obligations. They've also gotten hold of funding to continue operations through the bankruptcy process. Your next news at 10, when it breaks, Jim Michaels, WHBC News.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Sunny skies continuing for the rest of the day. High this afternoon, 75. Then mainly clear and cool this evening. Low tonight, 49. We'll have plenty of sunshine tomorrow. High on Thursday, 82. Then Friday, we'll have a little sunshine, then turning cloudy with severe thunderstorms by the afternoon, which can bring flash flooding, large hail, and damaging winds. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and why not win some cash for Dad? No need to give him the same old for Father's Day. Get registered at WHBC.com, and you could win $1,000 for your father. Brought to you by Bears Lawn and Garden in North Canton at the corner of Portage and Wales.
This summer, hit the road in the vehicle you deserve and secure a rate of 2.49% APR. You can make it happen at Friends and Family Credit Union, a new vehicle loan for 2.49% APR up to 76 months and no payment for 90 days. Stop in and talk to our local friendly loan professionals. They'll put you on the road in the vehicle you want with a rate as low as 2.49% APR. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. Friends and Family Credit Union has 3 convenient locations to serve you, including our newest location inside the Acme Fresh Market on Whipple Avenue in Canton, online, and in the palm of your hand with mobile banking. Additional restrictions may apply. All rates and promotions are subject to change without notice. This institution is privately insured by ASI up to $250,000 per account. Secure your new vehicle loan as low as 2.49% APR up to 76 months at Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Aultman, we are ready. We've got you.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, good morning, everyone. I'm Pam Cook on Spotlight this morning, and we are focusing on some of the patients with at Aultman Hospital, cancer patients who, boy, are so inspirational, and we love listening to the stories. We learn so much. We get inspiration, and certainly are getting that this morning from Barb Bennett, who, as I mentioned the last half hour, and she did as well, told you about her 3 cancer diagnoses. And, Barb, when we talk about those kinds of things, what was it along the way that kept you, I kept your spirits up? I mean, how did you do that?
Well, I tell you, I have kept every single card and note that people have sent me when I was diagnosed with cancer. 24 years ago when I had Hodgkin's, I kept this shoebox full of all my notes and cards. I call my box of love. So I have a shoebox full of these cards. So in 2017, same thing happened. People would send me cards and notes, people I barely knew, people I've just acquaintances with, close friends, family. Just, it was amazing. So those are the things that kept me going. So I have a shoebox of love for 2017 and a shoebox of love of 2019. So whenever I feel bad, I just look at that box and start reading some of those cards. And it's amazing. People are kind and generous and very compassionate when you let them in.
Wow. Now, where are you on your cancer journey right now?
I would say I'm on high alert status. So they're on high watch. I've made it 1 year past my surgery with esophageal cancer, and the surgeon said, hey, that's really good. Let's shoot for 2 years, and that would be even better. And 5 years, we would consider that cured. So I'm just shooting for that 2-year mark and then that 5-year mark. So, and then I will be no longer on high alert watch.
All right, 1 year at a time, right?
Yep.
That's great. That's great. So let's move to what you do in the community now, because a lot of people, when they go through things like you have, they take it, turn it around, and really start to use it to benefit the community or other people who may be suffering the same way that they have. What kinds of things are you doing in the community now?
Well, I participated in the local cancer societies like Making Strides and Relay for Life and donations and going to their events. And I decided I didn't want that to define, cancer to define who I am. So the way that I guess, share in cancer advocacy is sharing my story, number one. If you can mention it, you can manage it, is the way that I can see it. So I just want to make the cancer journey less scary for people who have to face this kind of thing. And then, of course, locally, I'm on the board at the Aultman Health Foundation. And that's where I would like to leave my legacy, is to, I've been going to the cancer center for 24 years. It's the same cancer center as it was when I started. And, you know, my legacy is really to see this Timken Family Cancer Center through to the end, the ribbon cutting, the opening of it. And, you know, that's where I want to put my efforts, is to helping to promote this wonderful, beautiful facility that our community desperately needs and deserves.
Yeah, there's nothing like what's going to happen at the Timken Family Cancer Center. I mean, nothing like it. And it, you know, I've talked to many people at Aultman. We've discussed it, and I'm just so excited for it, for the families and the people who are, you know, are diagnosed with cancer in the future, that they'll be able to have this as a resource. Speaking of resources, you know, you've had 3 different kinds of cancer. You know, are there resources out there for people who are diagnosed? What do they do? Where do they turn for that?
There are, of course, your local cancer society has programs to support those who are going through this journey. Everything from, you know, wigs or rides or food. You know, so the local cancer society is always a really good resource. The YMCA has some health and wellness programs for those that are free to those who are going through cancer treatments. There's a group called Compassion Delivered. They deliver meals to those who might be homebound or having problems or going through cancer. And there are several other local organizations, which names escape me right now. But of course, going through the Aultman Hospital and their oncology resources, they have a lot of ways to make connections to those who might need a little bit of help. So those are the different support groups that I'm aware of in our community.
Would you say there are any misconceptions about cancer patients that people have? Did you learn anything about that?
Yeah, you know, people who are going through cancer treatments are typically, from my observations and interactions, are very hopeful and positive people. And I think people are sometimes afraid or timid to, you know, bring up the elephant in the room. How are you doing? You know, don't be afraid to talk to cancer patients. They would love to know that you care about them. They would love to know that you want to know about their journey. So don't be afraid to talk to people about their cancer. It's not going to make them feel bad. They're very positive people, very hopeful people. So don't be afraid of them.
And for family members and loved ones who have a loved one who is diagnosed with cancer, what kind of advice for them?
I'll state this again. We have as good, if not the best care in our community here in Canton than you'll find anywhere in the world. So stay positive. And you know what? It's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh. And take that time with that cancer patient. And caregivers are such an important part of this whole cancer journey. Very rarely do I see a cancer patient by themselves. You know, when I'm going for my checkups, there's always somebody with that patient, always somebody. There's always a caregiver. So, like I said, be positive. It's going to be okay. We've got this, right? We've got this.
Yeah. You know, my mom had breast cancer, and she was, my gosh, it's been 21 years now. But it's my nephew, my great nephew, was born shortly after she was diagnosed. And so he went with her for her cancer treatments. And, you know, he's like 20 years old now. And he remembers sitting on her lap, and she remembers him being there. And that was such an awesome support for her. And, you know, you're right about that. There's always a support person there. And that's, you know, if they're there for you, take advantage of it, because there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Absolutely. Just embrace it. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And she and also she still talks about the nurses and the people that were there, you know, for her chemo and people that gave her her treatment. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either. That this is part of what is happening or happened to you.
Yeah, sounds like she's doing well. So I'm happy to hear that.
She is. So that we're very thankful for that. Well, we're going to take another break, our last break this morning. When we come back, I want to talk more about the Timken Family Cancer Center and what you thought when you heard about it, because I know that it was very exciting for you, and the future of it and what folks can expect. We'll do that here on Spotlight, coming up on 1480 WHBC.
and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Register to win your family reunion now at WHBC.com. The winner will be announced on June 25th. 1480 WHBC and That Little Italian Kitchen. We're all about family, friends, and food.
Paint? No. Paramount isn't just paint. It's the #1 paint in overall interior hide and stain resistance, providing the most advanced protection in just one coat. And now you can get that same outstanding protection with our new Paramount One Coat White. This first-of-its-kind one-coat ready mix white provides a beautiful white finish. You'll find Paramount paint exclusively at Menards. In third-party tests, interior paint claims versus super premium home center brands in eggshell sheen.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or mail-in rebate. See store for details.
127. Hey, what you doing there, pal? Just entering my social security number to get approved for a car. 82. Whoa! No! What on earth was that for?
Billy, you don't need to give anybody your social security number at Wacom. WacomKia.com.
But my credit is so rough.
It doesn't matter. No social security number is needed. They got credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit and no hard credit pull.
And I can get pre-approved with no social security number right now?
Correctamundo. Check it out. WacomKia.com. Name, address, boom.
Hey, I'm pre-approved for $30,000. Well, thanks, George.
No problemo. And did you notice you can get new Kias from just $199 a month with zero down?
$199 a month for a new Kia. I like it.
That's right, Billy. Nothing down.
Plus credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit.
At Wacom Kia on the Wacom Auto Mile.
Or get pre-approved at WacomKia.com.
WacomKia.com.
36-month lease, 12K miles per year, 20 cents per additional, plus tax tag title. Our credit pull required for final bank approval to qualified buyers.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 33.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too.
Okay, 3 dozen by tomorrow morning. Yeah, the roses and
Faraz's flower shop is blooming. To keep up with high demand, he must strengthen his business's roots.
Just 1 second. Faraz's flowers. Hold, please. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Faraz's.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
There's no point in crying over spilled milk or even spaghetti sauce for that matter, especially when you can take advantage of the Don't Stress the Mess flooring sale right now at Hosner Carpet One. Save up to 50% and get 18 months free financing on your purchase. From carpet to hardwood, luxury vinyl and tile, talk to an expert today to find beautiful flooring that stands up to the toughest messes. Hosner Carpet One, 4925 West Tusk, Canton, across from Central Catholic High School. See store for details.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight. And we are talking with Barb Bennett this morning. She is a cancer patient from Aultman Hospital and diagnosed 3 times with cancer. But boy, certainly has not let that affect her gumption. And I'll tell you, just such an inspiration. And we get comments on Facebook, And like the one you're seeing on the screen right now from Janelle, who says, love this woman, beautiful inside and out, always encouraging others. And boy, I mean, that's very, very awesome because we can feel that. She says, or Steve says, I went to high school with Barb and she's an inspiration to many who have fought this battle, me included. So you have touched a lot of people, and that's pretty darn awesome.
That's good. You know, people say I'm an inspiration, but sometimes I just want to be normal, you know.
I hear you. I get that. Totally get that. So let's turn our attention to the Timken Family Cancer Center, because I want to know what your thoughts were when you heard that this was coming, down the pipe. This was going to be something in the future that was going to be created.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, I'm on the Aultman Health Foundation board, and I know they've been looking at options for 5, maybe, more than 5 years. So when this design was finally determined that this was the path we were going to go, I was kind of on the down low about the first time I had cancer, because it was just about 20 years there. And the group from Aultman approached the community foundations, and I'm on an advisory board for capital campaigns. And they mentioned that, they wanted to pursue fundraising for the Timken Family Cancer Center. And someone made the comment like, well, if I had cancer, I'd want to go to Cleveland. And I looked at them and said, no, people in our community need to be treated properly in their community. To run to Cleveland for imaging or chemo, it would just be so taxing for not only the patients who sometimes don't have the physical stamina, but also for the caregivers. So we need this facility. We deserve this facility here in Canton. So I was ecstatic to see that we were finally able to move forward with the fundraising and construction here in Canton and a consolidated cancer services.
So what kind of things will be in the cancer center, the new cancer center?
Well, the whole design was based on patient experience and the caregiver experience. I was very big on that. And, as they're going through design, they're looking at a lot of natural lighting, a lot of themes and color palettes that match nature, a lot of calming environment. There'll be spaces where the caregivers can get a little bit of a break. So everything was designed with the patient in mind. And of course, you'll have consolidated services, including imaging, easy access to radiation. It'll just be a lot more efficient and a lot less stressful than trying to negotiate in and around through a big hospital. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful facility.
Yeah, I've heard so much about it. Very excited to see how it all comes together. And, when you go over to Aultman now, you see, the construction and everything happening. It kind of makes you say, hurry up and finish, hurry up and finish. Do we know when that's going to happen? Do we know when that's going to be finished?
Yeah, I think the end of 2022. Right now, they're ahead of schedule and on budget. So those are all good things that board members like to hear and our community likes to hear too. They're good stewards of our monies.
So if folks listening want to get involved, they want to help out and support cancer services at Aultman, how could they do that?
They can help by just helping to spread the word about the project. You can forward things on social media. You can talk about it. The Aultman Foundation has posts, I think weekly, and make sure that gets to your friends and family. For those who've experienced cancer, share your personal testimony. You can be an advocate by sharing your experience. And of course, at this point in time, every single dollar counts. We're 98%, maybe a little bit 98, higher than 98% in our fundraising. So like I said, every dollar counts. If you can make a donation in honor or in memory of somebody, that would be wonderful. And you can check out project updates at the Timken Family Cancer Center. If you Google that, I think you can find it on the internet. And you can check out the ongoing construction. So there's lots of inspiring stories from patients and you can make a difference for local cancer care with a gift. So those are the ways that you can support this great endeavor for our community.
And I'll wrap up real quick asking you just to say one thing that you would tell a person when they hear the words, you have cancer?
All I can say is you've got this. You've got this. Stay positive and count your blessings. Every day is a miracle.
All right, Barb Bennett, thank you so much for coming on today. It was great talking with you.
Thank you, Pam. It was wonderful to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Sourcebook is here. Go to WHBC.com for a list of pickup locations. Look for the $1,000 Visa card contest entry form, the 2021 Sourcebook. Pick one up today.
Hear residents' thoughts on senior independent living at the Waterford.
When I came, I just felt totally at home. I was sure this was a place for me, and I had no regrets about selling my home. I have never, ever met